Hi, so in today's video, I'll be telling you about the chapter from my book entitled Hypnosis. It's a chapter in which I tell you how I was discovering the work on the covert hypnosis on me in my life. Yeah, if that's something for you, then stay tuned and off we go. So, um, I started to notice the work of covert hypnosis when I worked at McDonald's, but I have a few memories that I trace back even to middle school when, my friend Monica, we were performing together on the stage. But before we did that, um, all of us were supposed to be dressed in black and we were singing the song by the Beatles, Shake It Baby. And we're supposed to wear black clothes and black tops and maybe blue and black was supposed to be the upper uh, uh, outfit. And I changed my black trousers into jeans, but it turned out that when I was on the stage, that there was a hole in my jeans, and I really felt ashamed later on, not only because of the hole, but because of the way I sang. And before we went on the stage, Monica was repeating all the time, "I'm so scared, I'm so scared," and she was doing it all the time. And the truth is, she already was an opera singer. She just didn't tell me that. She told me that um, at the very end of school, in the fourth grade, I have learned that she had a skill that she had to work really. You have to work on that, right, to be able to sing as an opera singer. So I didn't understand why could she say all the time, "I'm so scared." And now I think I understand it because explicitly they give you a remark just by saying, "This is how I feel," although they do not. And they also, with energy work, try to implement the same idea in you. And so I think what happens here is that, I have followed somebody else's order to change my trousers. And I was later asked by another friend from school, not from middle school, from high school. I was asked by Marlena, why did I change my trousers? And I didn't know. Other than, some explanation would pop up, like to look better, but to look better, like I didn't look better. I looked worse because I had a hole in my trousers. I sang badly as a result of those remarks. Oh my God, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. And uh, and then I was really ashamed. But here's yet another remark I have. Like, yeah, sure thing, you can be ashamed, and that's totally natural. But I believe I was ashamed like too long and too strong, you know? And therefore, I assume also that this was the work of hypnosis too. And during the time when I worked for McDonald's, and oh no, during the time I have already finished working at McDonald's, and when I went to Vectra to talk about the invoices I have received, so I was given a document with. That would say that I have changed my data with TV and internet provider, and I had no TV. I never had a TV, so I couldn't have taken the TV service from them. But when I was waiting in the queue, a thought occurred in my mind that I should take off my jacket, and I didn't want. I just started and I stopped. And then when I sat by the desk with the lady, I didn't want to sign that document. So this is what happened over there. She would go like this. She would keep the eye contact with me and she would go like, and yeah, I have seen that gesture quite several times in my life. Uh, and then I signed it. And then I was like, oh my, what have I done? It's probably done the wrong thing. But the story turned out to be this time positive, and I went there with my sister yet again, and so on. So I've told you the story. But that lady, to indicate, because I was still like sitting and thinking, oh, I should probably ask some questions or something. But she just stood up and with her body language, she showed me that I should leave. And we're working with flyers. I was approached by Natalia, who looked like, the girl. Natalia worked with me in Krakow, and I worked with Naomi in Holland, and they looked very, very similar. So Natalia would repeat that I should take another break and go and eat something, and I should take another break. And I said no, but this is what she did. Like, she focused her eyes on my eyes, and I was looking at her deeply into her eyes, and then she nodded very slowly, you know. And when I had a conversation in Holland with Diana, I have just met Diana, and we met on the boat, and she worked as a guide there. But when we met, she was standing behind the bar, and she told me that she was from Argentina. Not to mention, when she saw me, she was a little bit angry somehow. I didn't manage to say much yet, and when she told me that she was from Argentina, the woman was much shorter than I was. And, I started to question, like, how from Argentina? Like, she actually looks pretty much gypsy, but I didn't have that nation in my mind when looking at her. So I was searching, like, how come she's from Argentina? And then this is what she does, exactly the same thing. She puts her hands on the desk and she keeps an eye contact with me and she says, yes, I am Amelia. First there's this slow, and then, yes, I am from Argentina. Mm-hmm. Um, yeah, that was Yana. And I think it's another situation I had when I visited my aunt and uncle. And first, the order that I received to see if hypnosis worked was I had, helped myself with meat that was on the table. And then I was asked to approach the sink and put the plate away. And I think I have done that because I was following somebody else's orders. In the same was when I was visiting, the owner of the tenant house where we used to live in the past. So, before I did so, I actually went to the shop, had two candy bars, had two bars, and then I decided that I was going to visit him. Although, I wasn't planning it that day. And just a thought occurred in my mind that it's best not to plan anything when you're surrounded by cultists, because they know in advance what you're going to do anyway. Well, that was okay. This is what showed up, and my brain accepted that as a good argument. And that's the thing, that something, it's going to be something that's going to go past your logical thinking, and then you go and give somebody a visit, for example. And I had a similar thing with food when going to Kung Fu class, to give my book, to give my USB drive, when I was just wondering, oh, if I give it to the wrong people, then what? Then nothing really. So yeah, first I had tortilla, and then I was more prone to hypnosis. And I think at the library, pedagogical library, I just saw a man, very characteristic man, and I think in the eye optician, I actually have seen the man who's very similar to the librarian from pedagogical library, and he made my nose stuck to the window, because there was the window from the coronavirus time. And then he made me stare at him. We were changing the data in the system, and he made me stare at him. And I have chosen the title of the book and the book to learn faster, but I have chosen it based on what it's based on the book cover. I just look at the book cover and had a feeling, oh, maybe this one could be a good one. It speaks to me. So um, First, he told me that it was the old publishing year and the book was old, to kind of discourage me. And I was like, yeah, but I want it. So then he disappeared, and then he was gone like for quite some time. And then he came back with a different book cover, not the one I saw, as if, as if, I don't know. The way I have seen that situation was that, oh, they wanted to try to show me that, my intuition doesn't work. So yeah, with occultists, they will try to show you that they will try to give you some purposeful miscommunication sort of thing. It happens. So yeah, Amelia and Piglet are on sale. And the sooner you make up your mind, the better deal you have. So, if you want to buy it, then the description of the oh my god, the link to Piglet, the link to Amelia is in the description of the film, and it's also on my website, on my Facebook, Instagram account. So if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching.